Good morning and welcome to the Sunday celebration for Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Boston. I am Reverend Gina and I am blessed to be here with you today. We have a wonderful message of celebrating life as source. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to celebrate. Let's enjoy this time together. Let's enjoy remembering that the spirit in me as me is me. So let's celebrate knowing that that power that of the universe is living and breathing inside you right here and right now. So in this celebration of knowing, I want you to know I'm Reverend Gina Colvario Krupka, and what we teach is the science of mind, which combines the philosophy of religion, science, religion, and philosophy. We are a spiritual, loving community that embraces all. We celebrate diversity through the practice of this teaching. We are coming together for the betterment of each one and the all. So just know in this oneness that we are in, that all is well and getting better. And it's getting better as a result of this time together. So thank you for being here with us and knowing this truth. So as we step into this topic again of celebrating life as source, let's go first into song. And we're going to hear Daniel Nahmod, Sacred Love. Just know this truth about you. Yes, you are sacred love.
You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace, blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God, blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God, deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
Yes, sacred love is what you are. And it is so important to know that we are that joy, that life is within each one. There's nothing that we have to do for it, it just is. So today we are celebrating, absolutely celebrating life as source. And what does that mean? And how do we do that? How do we step into that living out loud, which is our theme for this year? We're going to begin, of course, in prayer. So I have our beautiful practitioner who is in Barbados that I'm going to invite in. Good morning, Sonia. What a blessing it is to have you here. And so grateful for your prayer this morning for our invocation. So I am going to hand it off to you. Sonia is not only on our board, but also she has started the teaching chapter of for Centers and Spiritual Living in Barbados. So there's so much going on, and thank you for all that you do and who you are in the world.
Thank you, Reverend Gina. Good morning, everyone who is present here with us. That is CSL Greater Boston members and guests who have joined us. I want to invite you to get quiet, just go within to that holy place of holies within yourself and connect to your God, the God of your understanding. Recognizing that God is all there is. God is the source of every living thing on this planet. God is the source of all life. The life of me, the life of Reverend Gina, the life of each and every one of us who are meeting here today. Each and every one of us is that mirror image of God. We are the reflections of all that God is. God is goodness, and so too are we. And so I speak my word to celebrate the source of God as all life, in all life, through all life. Right here and right now in this moment, I see everything on the planet embracing this one source, as this one source, in this one source, and just celebrating. And that celebrating is in the trees as they sway in the wind and give thanks for their existence. That celebration is in every human being, in all forms of thanksgiving, sitting for the meal at the table, a mother playing with her children, children playing with each other, people dancing and enjoying themselves. It is all a celebration of the source. It's all a celebration of the energy of that source, of the love of source showing up in our lives in various ways. And so I give thanks for the celebration that is happening right here on CSL Greater Boston as we come together to celebrate with each other that source of all life, that source that is within us, that source that we are the images of. I give gracious, gracious thanks for the life of that source within me, for the life of that source within Reverend Gina and everyone who is here today. And so I release this word knowing that celebration of source is a done deal. It happens now. It happens consistently because we are one in this source, and so it is. Thank you so much.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Sonia, for that beautiful prayer.
So welcome. Thank you.
And for our reading today, I actually have we're following the theme. This is actually, throughout CSL, there are weekly themes. The monthly theme, of course, is root and reboot. So we are in the process of settling into who and whose we are and just recharging ourselves in, through, and as source. You know, we charge our cell phones, but we recharge ourselves. You know, our spiritual practices are what help to do that. And one of the things that I do in within my spiritual practices is poetry. And I've shared many of them, and I appreciate you indulging me in one more. But this particular one, as I was going through the theme and planning this today, it was exactly everything that I could think of. And I had just written this last week, not knowing or thinking about the theme at all. So I'm going to share this with you. I love you. I choose to love you no matter what you say. I may not always like it, but I must not allow that to get in the way. I choose to see you as my sister or brother, not from our likeness, but the oneness within the Creator. I choose to forgive you for any seeming harm, not because I'm naive or a saint, because love can never be lost. I choose to love myself regardless of what I say or do, not because I am perfect, because I am an individualized expression of you. Yes, we are that embodiment of spirit. Each one, the hands, the heart, the voice. So, in that knowing, let us allow ourselves to step into the greater. See, when we see ourselves as just this body, we can get caught up in the not enough of life. We can get caught up in the things to do, fears, doubts, insecurities, you know, the normal stuff of everyday life, the anxiety, the frustrations, whatever it may be, the not enoughness, whether it be not enough money or time or whatever it may be. All of those things are the entanglements of duality. All of those things are when we are caught up in what we see, not what we may be. So let's really be in this place of this celebration of the song, which I absolutely love. Michael God, I release and I let go. So let's do that. Let us release anything that is not serving the highest and best of us right here and now.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release. I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yeah. Do you want to be free? Then let me hear you say yes. Yes, I'm only here for God. I know.
How exciting. Free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. So, what does that mean? What does that feel like? I was sitting here as the song is playing and I'm clapping along and I'm having a good time. What does it mean to be only here for God? To be free in the Spirit. So we're going to talk about that. It's really leaning into and recognizing who and whose I am. You ever have those moments in life where you're frustrated? Why bother? I do my best, I give everything I have, and it doesn't come forward. I give everything I have, and it doesn't seem like I'm moving in the right direction. Why is that? Life happens, and there's a lot of stuff, and there's ups, there's downs, and sometimes it all breaks apart, and it feels like it exploded, and everything is a mess. And sometimes it takes that breaking apart to be set up for that absolute breakthrough. When our life falls into place into where it needs to be. But if we're going down a wrong road or in the midst of something that's not helping us, we have to break out of that some way. Just like the caterpillar has to break out of the cocoon to become the butterfly. Things have to change, and sometimes that change is messy. I love knowing that all of life flows like a stream from one source. So everything that there is, and that's Plotinus, it's, you know, everything comes from one source and goes back to that source. Every person, every animal, every bit of nature comes from that same source. And we are living, breathing activity of that source. So we get this opportunity to recognize, just recognize. Ernest Holmes says, the great surrender. You have to lose your hate if you wish to find love. You have to let go of everything that is unkind if you wish to discover kindness. You even have to surrender fear if you wish to discover faith. So, what does that mean? How do we do that? Who wouldn't want to surrender fear? Who wouldn't want to let go of the lesser for the greater? And consciously, yes, we want to do that. But that word surrender scares a lot of people. For a lot of people, that word makes them think of giving up, as if they've given up on trying something. Surrendering is not giving up, it's giving it over. See, faith is a belief in something that I cannot see. So what faith really is giving it and placing it in Spirit's hands. To be free in the Spirit, that joy of being free in the Spirit is when I've surrendered the stuff that I think I have to hold on to. See, resistance keeps me where I am. When I am fighting something, I am exactly where I am, and I'm not letting go of it. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of things that I've tried to let go of that had claw marks. I knew I needed to. I knew I needed to move on. Whether it was a job, whether it was situations with people, whatever it may be, I knew it was past due, and yet, unfortunately, I love to nurture. I don't want to give up on anything or anyone, and I try to make the best of it, or I keep seeing the good aspects of it, and sometimes it has to just blow apart, and there's nothing I can do about that in order for me to step away from it. So when life seems like it has absolutely exploded, that is when I need to let go and lean into Spirit. And I think of it just like leaning into, that mother, father, God, picturing its arms wrapped around me and holding me, just as a child's parent does when they're hurting. To me, that's my faith, like a warm blanket when I need it most. That's a surrender, simply allowing Spirit to do for me what I cannot in the moment do for myself. And we get to choose this. You know, faith, according to Ernest Holmes, spiritual faith is unshakable conviction, a surrender of the mind, the will, and the imagination to the belief in an invisible agency which can and will respond to us. Which can and will respond to us. It doesn't mean I get what I want when I want it at the moment that I want it. This is not a wish list like a Christmas list. This is a knowing that there is a highest and best for me, as there is for each one, and surrendering and leaning into that That's where that freedom comes. In the surrender comes the freedom to be free in spirit. That's what we're talking about. We get the awarenesses that we need. We get that next right step to be shown. So we are live, and I would love to hear any comments as we go along. If there is something on your heart, if there's something you'd like to share, or even just letting us know that you're there, please let us know. We love to hear from you. We are celebrating life as source. Are you living life as a celebration, or is it more like things you've got to do? Is it a have to or a get to? See, there's a huge difference in the feeling of that. Do you feel like I have to do these things, or I choose to do these things? See, to me, spirituality is that connection. And especially at Centers for Spiritual Living, we are in this place of recognizing that there is only one, that we're each that one within the oneness, and recognizing each other as that source. So when you're looking in the eyes of someone, you're seeing divine. That is the light in someone's eyes. I have never seen anyone's eyes shine if they were not connected. There are a lot of people that are going through life today not feeling connected, not feeling that freedom. They're not free in the spirit, as the song said. We do the best that we can every day because that's integrity. It's not because people are watching. We have integrity of who and whose we are. You are a child of divine. We don't cut corners. We don't pretend to be something that we're not. We don't need to be anything other than the perfect individualized expression that you are right now. See, there is a divine pattern in the back of everyone. And Ernest Holmes said a divine pattern is hidden in everything. There is a unifying presence and a law at the center of everyone and everything, a unity that binds us all together in one common source, one living spirit, one divine presence. Each is a unique manifestation of this one. So when we look in the eyes of our brothers and sisters, especially in a community, a spiritual community, we see that light of divine. When I see you being kind to people, when I love your sense of humor, that is divine, I am recognizing. And I wouldn't know it if I wasn't that too. I can only recognize that which I know. So it's being in a place of understanding that and coming home to that again and again. We do that. One of the way we do it is spiritual practices, especially through treatment. When there's something going on in me, when I am feeling, whether it's a barrier or frustrated or sad or grief or whatever emotion it may be, that is not joy in this moment. If I'm experiencing things that are, whether it's a stuckness or seeming lack, frustration, anger, all of those things, we cannot surrender to spirit when we're in a place of hate or againstness. We must know that no matter what, I love you. I don't have to like you. I don't have to like what you're doing, but we're one. So if I'm against you, I'm against me. And any house against each other will fall. There's nothing good that can come from that. So we come together and understand that it may not look the way we want it to on any given day, but that doesn't mean the outcome isn't amazing, especially in our personal life. There is a bigger picture. Thomas Edison tried over 1,000 times to create the light bulb. Over 1,000 times he was wrong. And he just knew another way not to do it. but it kept going. How many of us have tried something 1,000 times, knowing in our mind, seeing and knowing and believing in ourselves? Maybe there's a business you've always wanted to start. Maybe you did start it and you're thinking, shouldn't it be flying by now? I know it was divinely inspired. And the answer is yes. Just be where you are and trust. To me, faith is literally a life raft. When everything else falls apart, at least that's where I fall to. It's my faith. But again, that's a muscle, that's a practice. And if we don't use our spiritual practices, we don't have those muscles. So it's learning how to, again and again, choose what we wish to see in our world. And not just the world, but our individual space in it. Do I want to be free in the spirit? Then it means showing up in integrity and being that which I wish to see. See, what you spend your time and your money on tells you what's important in your life. So if you're more interested in dressing perfectly, if you're more interested in the car that you drive than your peace of mind, that can show up. What are you spending your time? What are you spending your money on? That tells you what matters most to you. And I know that may sound harsh, especially in our society, but we live in a dualistic society that tells us bigger, better, faster, more. And whatever you have, there's always going to be a new model. And somebody else is always going to have more. And isn't it? And it's a competition, as if they have it, you can't. And we know none of that is true. So the answer is to release all of those busy thoughts and step into what we choose. In 365, Ernest Holmes said, we can awaken to the living presence of God within each one of us and enter into a realization of peace and joy. As we come to surrender all littleness, fear, and doubt to the river of life flowing from the mind of God, we'll renew our vigor, remake our strength, ennoble our being, heal our bodies, and bring peace to our hearts. And I'm going to read that again. As we surrender all littleness, fear, and doubt, the river of life flowing from the mind of God will renew our vigor, remake our strength, ennoble our being, heal our bodies, and bring peace to our hearts. Is there anything better than that? When people are free in the spirit, when they've leaned into life, it doesn't mean that they don't have problems. They're just affected differently. Maybe they realize that it is a setup for an even better outcome. See, faith is in what I cannot see, and trusting it and knowing it and being in it and really understanding who and whose I am. We do the best that we can a moment at a time to stay connected, to remember. Children know they were born joyful because they know. And then we tell them what they can and can't do, and they start to forget. And as they get older, that spirit that we love so much about them suddenly isn't always that joyful anymore. We don't need them to conform. You know, Miguel Ruiz it says in the core agreements, he talks about it as domestication. We are domesticated into what society thinks. What do you think? Independently, what feels right in your heart? Dance like no one's watching, because it doesn't matter if they are. Dance, sing, celebrate your life. You get to do that. You are source. Ahila in Secrets of Divine Love said, when we surrender to God, we are like a grain of sand surrendering to become the mountain, or a drop of rain surrendering to become the entire ocean. You're not powerless, you are powerful. When you are part of that mighty, mighty mosaic called life, you're it anyway, whether or not you realize it. But there is no on your own, there is no loneliness, there is no fear of not enoughness when you are part of the whole. It is seeming separation that brings any of those things. You know, when we pray affirmative prayer, we know. We begin with knowing who Spirit is. And then we recognize that I am that. I am that drop within that infinite ocean. I am that. And claiming what that means. So, whatever the seeming problem or whatever I choose to see in my life today, I claim that. You know, I recognize every aspect of spirit and I am that. And then I recognize to be grateful for it. Grateful for the knowing, grateful for that I am, grateful that I know that all that is meant is manifesting for my highest good right now in amazing ways. And then I release it. I release and I let go. You know, when I really trust in faith, there's a shift in me. I become that magnet that amazing things can come to. Now, if you put things in front of a magnet, it's not as powerful. If you have a magnet and you put it next to a paper clip or anything metal, of course it's going to go right to it. But if you put a piece of paper between it, it may still go, but not the same. If you put 10 pieces of paper between it, it's not. If you put something between you and spirit, and that's a choice, a mental, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that you can choose again. Know that that power is within you to attract and create. So let's use that. Let's not hinder it. Let's surrender anything that doesn't need to be between and really be in that flow. Knowing that anything I do, there is a purpose. Anything that is here right now, there's a purpose. And living in that flow of knowing Spirit's got this. Now I'd like to go through real quick. You know, the poem that I read you is 4 lines. And it's again, I love you. I choose to love you no matter what you say. I may not always like it, but I must not allow that to get in the way. So I love you because you are one with me. There is no part of the ocean that says, "Oh, I don't like that one over there." You know, a foot away from me, yeah, stay over there. It's one. The fabric of life is one. So I don't have to agree, and any againstness keeps me with you. And the second line is, I choose to see you as my sister or brother, not from our likeness, but the oneness with the Creator. So every person, every one of them, is my sister or brother. If you look at our DNA, it's 99.9 the same. You know, the skin color is irrelevant. That's on the outside. It doesn't matter. We really are exactly the same. It's amazing. So let's remember that. Let's honor every person in every country as that sister or brother. We are one global. We are one. And in that oneness, there is love. And the more we are into that knowing, leaning in and allowing, amazing things come. And it says, I choose to forgive you for any seeming harm, not because I'm naive or a saint, but because love can never be lost. You know, there are people or circumstances that can be frustrating. There's anytime we hold a grudge against anyone, well, they deserve it. Well, they might, but do you want that poison? Resentment is poison that you are drinking and thinking it's affecting somebody else. Clearly, it is not, but that's what you're thinking. So, what do we choose instead? How do I choose to live better, differently, more expansively? If I don't want to be in the bondage of fear and anger, hate, when I turn on the news, that's what I see. In so many ways, in so many places, that's what I see. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does. But I choose not to practice it. And sometimes that means I don't turn on the news. I'll get the gist of it, but I cannot sit there and watch it anymore. Not for the length that for a long time I did. And I am at a point now that they're looking for the negative stories. There's good that happens every day. Let's be a part of that. Let's know that I forgive you because I'm not going to hold it and carry it with me. It doesn't mean I think what you did is right. It doesn't mean that I want to be around you or have to be in any way, but I'm not carrying that burden with me. I'm not putting anything between me and spirit. I am letting go and honoring the oneness, honoring that I am love. I cannot be love and hate at the same time. I choose love. I live into the love. I create love. And the final line is I choose to love myself regardless of what I say or do, not because I'm perfect, because I'm an individualized expression of you. Loving ourselves allows us. It's plugging into restore. Just as that Ernest Holmes had said, when we truly do that, when we plug into spirit, amazing things happen. We are restored in every way, health, mind, body, all restored. We can be like a child again if we allow ourselves to be. You are an individualized expression of source, made on purpose, by purpose, for purpose. Are you living that purpose? Are you living your best life? And if it doesn't feel that way, say, okay, so what do I have to surrender? What do I let go of? What am I allowing to come between me and that magnetic power of source? And just let go of the resistance, the anger, the hate, the fear, the judgment, the sadness, the grief, whatever it may be, anything that there is resistance, allow the flow. Acupuncture does that. It does the little pressure points. And when these little bitty needles go in, you can't even feel. These little bitty needles, they clear up the whole energy chain in our body. It's amazing. I have had the done and literally, one or two needles, and my whole face, my sinuses are just whoosh, open wide, and I can breathe and feel the flow in a completely different way. It's amazing. Our bodies are amazing, and our minds are amazing. So we get to choose to open in any and every way, but that's a choice that we can make consciously. So may we make that choice together. May we be in that place this week of being free in spirit. Yes, I am only here for God, as the song says. Simply abandoning the stuff for the joy. So let's celebrate that this week and know that we know that all is well. and getting better. So, our affirmation, if you can say it with me today, is this one life is my life right now. And I celebrate it out loud. Again, this one life is my life right now. And I celebrate it out loud. And so it is. So thank you for being here with us. And of course, it's time for the law of circulation. It says that when giving activates receiving. We are here and we are able to do what we do in the world because of you. So if you're able, we would love for you to go to our website and you can find the links there. It's also on our Facebook. We have a PayPal and a Venmo, and it's Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Boston. So here's the information. Just know that we are able to do what we do in the world, and there's so much more coming. And again, that little tag, you can scan that and go for PayPal. And I'd love for us to do our sacred giving affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. And so it is. So we have a couple of announcements. Every Thursday, we have the Sacred Circle at 7. And this week will be led by Reverend Sherry Johnson. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'd love for you to join us. It's a very international event. We always have our beautiful Barbados connection, but we also have had people from all over the world join us. Every week is a different topic. Every week is a different spiritual leader, and we would love for you to be there with us. I wanted to mention that this is the last weekend you can register for Vista. So if you are interested, we can help you with a ticket as well. So reach out. You can reach out to me, and I can help you with that as well. So Vista is our convention. It's going to be hybrid. It's going to be in person, but also online. So if you're able and you are interested in it, just reach out. We have visioning on Mondays. We are visioning for the yet to be, this greater expansion of CSL Greater Boston. We are bringing Ernest home. We are bringing Ernest home. See, New Thought started in New England, and yet we're probably the fewest centers in New England. So you know what? We are knowing that expansion, and we would love for you to help us. Whether it's a visioning or anything else, wherever you are, we would love to have you. Just know we would love to have you as part of our community. There is no time or place. We know that there's only one, and visioning is part of that. And again, you can go to our website, cslboston.org, or our newsletter also has the links as well. So sign up for our newsletter when you can. We have a class, Practical Mysticism. It's a 10-week class, very exciting. Awaken Your Inner Mystic. It's beginning in February 8th, and it's 6 p.m. to 8:15 Eastern Time. So we would love for you to join us. Any questions, give me a call, or you can call me or email me at gina@cslboston.org. So again, we would love to have you. We're in person once a month. February 12th is the next time we're live in Boston, but we are here live every week. We are always knowing that truth, and we are always here with you. So again, we would love for you to consider yourself part of our community, no matter where you are. Know that we are here with and for you, and would absolutely love you to join us in that. So in that knowing of oneness, we are going to go into prayer. So I invite you to just be where you are and breathe into it. Taking a breath and just allowing yourself to be. recognizing that there is only one power, one presence, one love, one life. And that this one life, love, allness is right here, right now. It is every bird, every tree, every, cat or dog, beloved family member. It is all that is seen and unseen. This one love, this one allness is right here, right now. For there's nowhere else it can be. It is always in the now. And knowing that truth, that there is nowhere other than this one, I know that I am presence. I am that love, that harmony, that peace, the joy. I am that perfection, that wholeness. I am that abundance, the affluence. And knowing that truth, that power that I am, each one is. For each is an individualized expression of this oneness. Each one is my sister, my brother. Each one is life itself, living and giving and sharing as this infinite ocean. Knowing that there is nowhere spirit starts or stops. I love you. I choose to remember that with every person that I see this week, every person I think of. I love you. I offer love to the world, and knowing that love brings peace, brings clarity. It elevates my thoughts, my body, my vibration. It elevates everything in my life and attracts as the strongest of magnets. I know that I choose. I choose love, and that includes myself. I care for this beautiful vessel that God has given. I care for. I sleep well. I eat well. I exercise and move well. I live well in self care, knowing that that is self is caring for and as spirit. Knowing who and whose I am, I celebrate life right here and right now, knowing that truth, knowing it for each one watching online, knowing it for each one in the all. I celebrate life right here and right now, knowing that that ripples out as peace, love, joy into the heart of each one, for there's only one. And filled with that love, because I cannot give without receiving, filled with that love, I am grateful. Grateful to know as I lean into spirit, all is well and getting better, regardless of what is seen or unseen, all is well. So I am filled with joy and gratitude as I set this into the law, knowing it cannot come back void, that it's already done in that one line. I celebrate it. I say amen and blessed be. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for celebrating this beautiful topic of life as source. You are that. I am present as much as I am that. And let's celebrate it this week. Let's not take it for granted. Let's know and know that we know and live in that joyful surrender and expectation. So, with that, we're going to end with beautiful song "Do You Know" by Reverend Laura Topper and her husband Jason. as they are infinity together. Do you know? So, looking forward to seeing you Thursday night or Monday at Visioning. Have a wonderful week. Blessings and love. Namaste.
Do you know how beautiful you are? Can you feel the power that you hold? Do you see the light within your heart? Always there for you to have and hold. Have you found the truth in all that is? Will you hold the hand that leads the way? Do you look inside to wake your dreams? Knowing God is everywhere and more. You are the power, it's all inside of you. As you connect within and clear the way, that's all you need to do. I can feel the power that I am. I can hear the voice within my soul, knowing I am God and God is me. I now see the beauty of it all. I am the power, it's all inside of me. As I say my prayers and love each day, my light shines back at me. You have it all, it's there in you. I have it all, it's here in me. I know that you can find the way. You can open your heart today. Right now's the time to realize the love we have within our hearts. Just look inside to know the way. You know the way. We are the power, we have it all as one. We can live each day in love and truth, knowing we are free. We are the power, we have it all, it's true. As we close our eyes and realize love comes shining through. As we close our eyes and realize that's all we have to do.